couple of the great guards in the game collide in the Bay Area as Steph Curry and the Warriors host Kyrie Irving and the Nets. Into first quarter highlights, Kyrie with a nice crossover on Steph before getting the long 2 to go and giving the Nets the 5-point lead. Here's Curry getting the pull-up 3 to go and cutting their deficit to 2. Then off the Nets turnover here, Jordan Poole with the nifty overhead outlet pass to Jonathan Kuminga for the dunk in transition. Here's more from Irving later in the second, penetrating, getting the pull-up to go off the glass, but the Warriors still leading the way 52-48. Then the chef would cook to end the half. Stephen Curry for 3, then putting on a clinic before getting the tough layup to go high off the glass here. 26 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists for 2-60. Ben Simmons to Irving for the pull-up 3 in the third. Then Simmons dropping it off to Irving for another 3 to tie things up at 75 apiece. Into fourth quarter highlights, Dante DiVincenzo with a nice pass to a cutting Kuminga for the dunk, 20 points in the game for him. The Warriors nearly turned the ball over here, but Draymond Green would get it out to Poole, who hits the pull-up 3, 17 points and 4 steals for him. The Nets with a late charge. Here's Kyrie with 3 more off the screen, then looking for Nick Claxton inside, and he'd find him. 24 points, 15 rebounds, and 3 blocks for Claxton. More Irving drawing a couple defenders, then kicking it out to Royce O'Neal for 3, and the Nets take the lead 118-116. Poole kicking it out to Curry, who pump fakes but doesn't shoot. A kickball's called here. The Warriors would retain possession. Then on the next play, DiVincenzo with the inbounds to Klay Thompson. He misses the 3. Irving would grab the rebound, and the Nets would hang on to win it, 120-116. Blazers hosting LeBron James and the Lakers. LeBron highlights start early here in the first, pulling up and drilling the deep 3. Then, falling to his left, gets the jumper to go here. The Lakers would lead the way 20-9 in the quarter. Then, Nasir Little with the floater. With just about a minute to go in the first, Josh Hart gets his layup blocked there, but Dame would find Anthony Simons for the deep 3. Then more Lillard, this time driving and kicking it out to Simons yet again for 3 more. Jeremy Grant pushing the ball and taking it all the way for the dunk. Lillard to Simons yet again. Then Lillard on the keeper, pulling up from way downtown and getting the deep 3 to go. 24 points, 6 rebounds, and 10 assists for Dame. Here's Hart with a cross-court pass to Simons for another 3. He finished with 31, and the Blazers would outscore the team. But the Lakers would come storming back in the third. Pat Bev with the steal to Schroeder with the lob to LeBron. Then Thomas Bryant in the post, getting inside and getting the bucket plus the foul, and he'd make that free throw. Here's LeBron with the rebound, going coast to coast for the layup. Then blowing past the defense for yet another one to cut their deficit to 6. Troy Brown to Bryant for 3 more in the fourth. Then LeBron with the behind-the-back pass to Bryant, who gets the floater to go. Dennis Schroeder getting the 3 off the dish from LeBron, 24 points for him in the game. Then LeBron backing down, turning around, and banking it in. 37 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists for LeBron. Schroeder with the miss, but Bryant with the rebound and the putback. Then Brown would get his shot blocked here, but Bryant is there for yet another putback. 31 points. Clippers in Dallas to take on Luka Doncic and the Mavs. In the first, Doncic, the crossover, the drive to the basket, and the finish. These 2 points would tie things up at 7 apiece with 8.5 to go. Later in the quarter, Kawhi, this time driving and getting the pull-up jumper to go. Then the long 2. And the Clips would lead the way 22-16. Into second quarter highlights, Paul George with the transition 3. Putting the Clippers up 27-24. Then Josh Green loses his defender and gets the step back to go. The Mavs regained the lead at that point, 37-32. Then with time winding down in the first half, Spencer Dinwiddie rocking the baby to sleep and getting the three to go. And the Mavs leading the Luka in the third, the jumper off the glass, giving the Mavs the 58-55 lead. Then Kawhi with the corner three, and this all part of a 16-4 run by the Clips. The 63-60 lead, but then more Luka. Here he is, heating up in the third. The three. Then another one. 29 total points for him, 10 rebounds and 4 assists. Here's Tim Hardaway Jr. with the deep three in the fourth, cutting their deficit to just 3, but more PG-13, this time with the short jumper. And that would give the Clips the 92-84 lead. Then Kawhi would help the Clips pull away. The floater, then the three, 30 points and 9 rebounds for him. Those three would put the Clips up. Likely looking for a big game from Jamal Murray with both Nikola Jokic and Michael Porter Jr. out against the OKC Thunder. The Nuggets trailing early on. Murray with a nice dunk in transition. The Thunder, though, up 11-8. Then the Thunder lead down to 4. Josh Giddey drives and hits the floater to put him back up 14-8. Some nice ball movement by the Thunder here as well. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander gets fouled on the take, gets it to go, and makes the free throw. Into second quarter highlights with the Thunder up 7. Giddey drives and again would score on the floater. He had 18 points and 9 rebounds in the game. Then with the Thunder lead down to 6, SGA backing down Bruce Brown and gets the fadeaway to go. The half coming to a close. Brown knocking down the wide open three. But here come the Nuggets. Aaron Gordon with a tough take. He doesn't get it to go that first time, but gets his own tip in. 15-10 in the game for him. Then Murray backing down and pulling up over SGA. And the Nuggets take their first lead at 58-56. The Thunder right back at it though with the lead. Lou Dort to SGA for 3 of his own. Then about 30 to go in the third. Jalen Williams drives, spins, throws down the dunk, 81-74 the lead. Then with Denver trailing by 6 in the fourth, Gordon with the lob to Jeff Green. And the Nuggets trying to keep it close. Nothing but space there for Zeke Nachi, who gets the 3 to go. Then with less than 2 minutes to go, Murray would walk it up to the 3 and drain the 30-footer. 26 points, 5 rebounds, and 9 assists in the game for him. Then with the score tied at 99, SGA with the inbound, the pump fake, and gets it to go off the glass. 34 points, 5 sidelined as he and the Pelicans visit Jimmy Butler and the Heat. Bam Adebayo in first quarter highlights loses the ball. It's stolen by Trey Murphy III. Then at the other end, Herb Jones to C.J. McCollum for 3. Then another steal for the Pelicans. This time Jackson Hayes comes up with it. And at the other end, McCollum gets it back to Murphy for the dunk and 1. And he'd make that free throw. The Pels leading the way by 10 early on. Then the Heat come up with a steal of their own. Victor Oladipo to Tyler Hero to Jimmy Butler for a slam. Then in the final seconds of the first quarter, Devontae Graham with yet another Pels steal. He snatches that pass from Oladipo and drains the half-court shot at the buzzer. The Heat had 14 first-half turnovers. That was Murphy yet again. This time, Hero misses the 3, but a second chance and connects. Then more Oladipo, this time ripping the ball away from McCollum and gets it to Hero for the dunk. Those 2 points part of a 10-0 Heat run, but the Heat, though, continue their comeback in the third quarter. Jimmy Buckets connecting on the tough baseline jumper and would draw the foul and make the free throw. More Hayes. The monster jam and 1. Zion is, of course, loving it. Look at that in slow motion. The Pels leading the way at that point, 61-58. But Heat highlights continue, this time with Butler out to Hero in the corner for 3. A game-high 26 for him. And the 2-point lead for the Heat. Then Murphy misses this one, but on the second chance, McCollum gets the 3 to go. Kyle Lowry, late in the game, with a minute and a half to go, driving and pulling up for the jumper, giving the Heat the 97-94 lead. Then with 12 seconds to go, McCollum gets the inbound, but can't get the 3 to fall, and the Heat hang on. The final score, 100-96. Ja Morant and the Grizzlies taking on Chris Paul and the Suns. CP3 highlights starting the first quarter, pulling up and knocking down the jumper, putting the Suns up 13-9. Then later in the first, more CP3, this time for 3. 15 points in the quarter for Chris. Into second quarter highlights, Mikal Bridges with the jumper. The Suns leading the way by 20 at that point, 47-27. Then more CP. This time between the legs, the pass to Bismack Biyombo for the layup. Look at that one more time. Chris Paul with 22 points, 6 steals in the game. But the Grizz would make a run starting in that third quarter. Here's more Morant driving, getting the layup to go, 27, 5, and 8 for him in the game. Then Zaire Williams battling for the ball and gets the full court shot to go at the buzzer. 3 of his 16 points were right there. Then Desmond Bane driving and getting the floater to go here in the fourth. The Suns still leading the way 98-91. Here's Cam Johnson. He nearly loses the ball here, but picks it up and gets the jumper to go, plus the foul, and he'd make that free throw. 110-101, the Suns lead. Dylan Brooks on the other end for 3. Cutting into their deficit, still down by 6. Then more Bane driving and getting the layup to go. 24, 8, and 6 in the game for him. The Grits, though, don't foul right away here, and Johnson would turn it over, but Steven Adams would save it. Back to the Suns, and the clock would run out. The Suns hold lead, and the Raptors hosting Jalen Brunson and the Knicks in Toronto. Here's Pascal Siakam in the first, blocking R.J. Barrett's shot. Then Thaddeus Young would pick it up and get the ball up court to Siakam, and he'd finish with the two-handed jam. The Raptors leading the way at that point, 25-17. Then later in the quarter, Julius Randle driving and throwing down the huge one-handed slam. Look at that again. That would cut their deficit to 10, but more first quarter highlights with Van Vliet knocking down the 3 and giving the Raptors the 17-point lead. Here's more Barrett in the second, this time with the mid-range jumper. The Raps still leading 39-24. Then Gary Trent Jr. with a monster one-handed dunk of his own. Those two would put the Raptors up 48-39, and they'd lead the way at halftime 62. Brunson to Barrett. He'd knock down the transition 3 and cut their deficit to 8. Then Randall would get the tough mid-range jumper to go, plus the foul, and he'd make that free throw. More Brunson, the pull-up, and the 3. And that would give the Knicks the 1-point lead, 84-83. Then in the fourth quarter, off the Raptors' miss, Barrett ahead to Obi Toppin for the big dunk to tie things up at 88 apiece. Later in the fourth, Scotty Barnes getting it done defensively, the steal, then the look ahead to Trent for the dunk. And the Raps would start to pull away. Van Vliet knocking down the deep 3. 28 points for him in this game, 4 of 8 from 3. And the Raptors win it, 125-116.